Hi guys, Nessa here. March is about upon us, and for some people that means potato time. If you come from Irish heritage like I do, or even Scots Irish, I do too. I grew up hearing my mom all the time, this is your heritage, you need to eat this. You know, the Irish stew. I don't know, did any of you grow up eating that? We did. A lot. Not only was it our heritage, but it's inexpensive, and it's a great budget meal if you're trying to save some of your cash. Potatoes is where it's at. Not only that, but I'm informed that it's March Madness coming up, and these are great for watching your favorite game. So let's dive in. First, we've got to start with cutting up our potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. I have washed and dried these. There's no ugly bits on them now. Well, maybe a few. And we're going to go ahead and slice these up into wedges. Okay, today I've got a bowl here with 1 cup of cultured buttermilk. And we've got 4 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes. We're just going to cut these into wedges, and we're going to plop them right into our buttermilk. I want these to cook pretty quickly, so I'm not going to make them super thick. You can do, if you like yours thicker, cut them thicker, it doesn't matter. I want these to cook up pretty quick because we're going to be having these for lunch. So just right into our buttermilk. Okay, we've got our potatoes into our buttermilk, and we're just going to give those a toss with our hands and get those all coated. And then we're going to set these aside while we assemble our flour mixture. In a shallow dish here, I have 1 cup of all-purpose flour, and today I'm going to be using this potato slayer seasoning. If you haven't tried this, it's so good. If you don't have this, it's not a problem. Just to your flour mixture, you want to add about a teaspoon of paprika. You want to add a teaspoon of salt and about a teaspoon of garlic powder, and give it a toss. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of this seasoning to our flour mixture. Just give it a stir. Okay, until it's nice and combined. Okay. We have our seasoning ready to go here, and our potatoes are sitting here in our buttermilk, and next we're going to grab our baking sheet. I have a stoneware baking sheet here lined with some parchment paper. You, of course, could use some aluminum foil. My oven is turned to 425 degrees. We're going to be taking our potato wedges that are dunked in our buttermilk. Then we're going to dunk them into our flour, and then we're going to put them onto our baking sheet. Okay, so let's get started. We're going to put these on the baking sheet where they're not touching each other. You don't want to crowd your pan. If you crowd your pan, you won't get crispy potato wedges. They look about like that. These are going to be so good. That flour is going to help make these nice and crispy. We've got all that flavor going on with that buttermilk and the seasoning in our flour. Now, if I didn't mention it, you do not have to peel your potatoes, and you certainly can use russet potatoes, or you can use a red potato. Use whatever you've got hanging out in the pantry. It doesn't matter. You're going to get a really great tasting JoJo. We've got our baking sheet here ready to go into the oven. We're going to place this in the oven for 35 minutes, At 20 minutes in, we're going to pull it out and we're going to turn our potatoes over so that we can ensure we get a nice, even, crispy, delicious potato. We'll be right back. Okay, it's been 20 minutes. We're going to pull the potatoes out and we're going to give them a little flip. These are looking really good. Now my potatoes are looking a little bit dry. It's got me concerned, so I'm going to add just a little bit, a drizzle of some olive oil over the top of these. I just want to ensure that these come out nice and crispy and that flour on there cooks. It's your kitchen. Sometimes you just gotta make a little adjustment when you're cooking. No big deal. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and pop these back into the oven for about 15 more minutes and see what we got. So with our potatoes, we're gonna be making some buttermilk dressing to go with that, because who doesn't like some homemade ranch? And first off, I'm gonna show you a little trick. We've got some buttermilk here from the grocery store, and I've got some whole milk here also. We don't drink a lot of milk, and so I buy it in a small container only on rare occasions. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to extend your buttermilk. At first, you'll have your initial cost of your milk, and you'll have the initial cost of your buttermilk, but this is going to end up being a perpetual buttermilk, where you're going to make it once, and then you're going to take your buttermilk that we're going to make today, and that's going to be your buttermilk that you keep adding to. You will no longer have to go and purchase the buttermilk from the store as long as you have some milk. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to take our buttermilk, make sure you shake it up. We're going to take 1 cup of this store-bought buttermilk. We're going to add it to 1 quart, clean 1 quart glass jar here. And then to our 1 cup of buttermilk, we're just going to top this quart jar off with some milk all the way to the top. And then we're going to give it a stir. Now this jar we're going to set on our counter for about 24 hours. It depends on how warm your kitchen is. In my kitchen, I can get this to culture in 24 hours. We are going to put a lid on it, not tight, and then we're just going to set it off to the side. Next, we're going to get started on our buttermilk dressing. So since we don't have any buttermilk ready to go, we're using store-bought. We're going to need 1 cup of buttermilk. Okay, we have just enough. Okay. Add that to your bowl. Next, we need 1 cup of mayonnaise. Don't use the salad dressing. Don't use Miracle Whip. It won't be right. Okay, we've got our 1 cup of mayonnaise. It's going to go in to our bowl with our buttermilk. There. We're going to gently stir that up. We have right here 2 tablespoons of chopped up or diced green onions. You can use chives. That's going to go into the bowl. Then we have some dried onion flakes here. If you don't have dried onion flakes, you could certainly use fresh. It just won't last as long in the fridge if you use fresh onions. So we've got about 2 tablespoons of onions here. You could certainly use onion powder if you want to. Into the bowl. Then we've got some dried parsley. We have 2 tablespoons of dried parsley here. That goes in. Then we have 1/4 of a teaspoon of dried oregano. We are going to add 1/2 a teaspoon of dried dill. I like a lot of dill, so I'm going to be a little bit more heavy-handed. Okay. And then I don't know if you've seen this, but I've been using this for years. This makes a really great base for any kind of dressing that you're going to make. But this is Morton's Nature Seasoning. We are going to add 1/2 a teaspoon. And this will be replacing the salt and the pepper. Or maybe not the pepper. Then we're going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of paprika, give or take. Okay. Then we're going to add some granulated garlic. You certainly could use fresh. I don't have any fresh, so we're going to use granulated. And I know I said that I wasn't going to be using black pepper, but we're going to. We're going to go in with just a few little shakes of black pepper. Now, after we taste this, if there's any adjustments that you want to make to this, go ahead. You could add some lemon juice to brighten this a little bit, or even some apple cider vinegar if that's what you like. We're going to make sure this is all nice and combined in there, and then we're going to give it a taste. Okay, we're going to go in and give this a taste. That's pretty good. I'm going to hit it with a little bit more dill, just because we like dill. I'm going to add another teaspoon, or 1/2 a teaspoon. Let's see what we got now. That's good. That's going to be good on our potatoes. If you find that this isn't, if it doesn't have that acidic punch that you want, that's where you're going to go ahead and add in just a little bit of either cider vinegar or lemon juice. I'm going to go ahead and add just a tiny splash of cider vinegar, just to wake it up a little bit. I gotta get another spoon. That's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and set this aside. And you'll find the ingredient list in the description below the video for the ranch dressing. Our JoJo's are out of the oven, and we're going to go ahead and get these plated up. I'm really glad I added that extra little bit of olive oil over the top of these. I think it helped that flour to crisp up better. So we're going to go ahead and give these a try. We have our ranch dip here that we just made, and we've got our JoJo's out. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're crispy and they're hot. Let's give that a try. Oh yeah, look at all that. You can see all those herbs in there, all that garlic. Oh, it's gonna be good. This is good. Nice and crispy. Oops. I double dipped. Shoot. I could see putting some cheese on here and melting that cheese on there too. That'd be so good. Or even using these as a base for maybe some chili fries. The humble potato, you can do so much. I'm Nessa, and thanks for watching, you guys. Until our next video, have a great day.